This episode of April and Jay Have No Ideas is brought to you by the misconnection section of Craigslist, because without it, me and my cousin Rhonda might not have ever gotten hitched.
I am old enough to be your dad, and we laughed about that. Chelsea. I am old enough to be your dad, and we laughed about that. You were sitting on a bench in Madison Square Park yesterday afternoon, and I asked if you were sad. You thought I was trying to pick you up, but I tried to explain I just wanted to be friendly, and that I always wanted to have a son, that whatever happens after that happens, and that we shouldn't try to plan everything ahead, but take it day by day. You had a beautiful smile. I gave you my number. You called me dad when you left and walked away. Reply if you're too shy to call me. Posted about 7 hours ago. Turn.
Take a turn.
Hi, I'm April.
And I'm Jay. And we have no ideas.
Yeah.
I would like to start off with a quick public service announcement. If you're ever walking through the Target or the Walmart or wherever you shop, and you see the cherry-flavored Pepto-Bismol, you say, "Not today, Satan." Because that shit is terrible.
What?
To the person who invented cherry Pepto-Bismol in an attempt to what I assume is make it better, which Pepto-Bismol is fine as it is. You go screw yourself because you made that shit terrible.
What is happening?
It is terrible. It's awful. It's the worst thing on the planet.
Yeah. What? That's weird. That's a weird public service announcement.
It's my don't buy cherry flavored Pepto-Bismol.
Okay.
And it only says like very small in the bottle that it's cherry flavored. So make sure you check your bottles, people, before you take them home. This has been a public service announcement. Never mind. Public service announcement from April and Jay.
Another public service announcement would be, listen. Just maybe presume that the episode will probably be not safe for work. Just in case it doesn't get marked as explicit, at least for the time being. We don't want to offend anybody or get anybody in trouble if they're listening to it at work at their computer and, you know, you hear something like the anthropomorphic bananas from last week.
Sorry about that, folks.
So just, just as a quick heads up, we're working on a rating system as far as making sure that specific episodes are tagged that way. So if you're listening to us not through our iTunes feed, but through the Random Chatter feed,
yes,
just assume that it's probably either going to get a little bit gross or there's going to be swearing.
Yeah.
And
at least swearing. We tried our best to not swear, but unfortunately we're both sweary people.
We are.
And it got difficult. So yeah, and at times like our sense of humor can be kind of gross at times with some of our funny Amazon products and stuff like that. You know, we'll try not to go over the top, but just keep in mind there may be some stuff that you have to watch out for. So
yeah.
That was a good public service announcement.
Yeah, I'm still wondering about this cherry flavored Pepto.
Oh,
are we talking about like the liquid or like the?
It's
the
it's the liquid. It's liquid. It's terrible, and I like Pepto-Bismol. I think it's delightful.
That's weird.
It's cold and refreshing, and
how have I never known this about you?
What, that I like Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, but then again, I like Tums. I think Tums are kind of tasty.
Tums are good, yeah. So before we get going with a topic, what's our topic this week?
Harry Potter.
Oh, that's fantastic. I thought that you would enjoy talking about Harry Potter, considering the new Harry Potter mobile game came out today, which is titled Harry Potter, I believe, Hogwarts Mystery, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, Harry Potter, Hogwarts Mystery. Sorry.
Because my phone has like zero space, I
Mm-hmm.
probably won't be downloading it anytime soon.
I downloaded it today and I started playing it. It's pretty good, but we can talk about that after.
Okay.
Today is April 25th, Wednesday, April 25th. And for anybody who's anybody knows that tomorrow drops one of the biggest movies of the year for us nerds, Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. And I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty freaking stoked. I got my t-shirt at Walmart for $7.95. From what I heard, it's good. It's pretty epic. A couple of the reviews, and I didn't read full reviews. I read some reactions. A couple of the reactions were troubling. One of them said, "If you liked Civil War, you'll like this. If you were bored by Civil War, you'll be bored by this." I don't really know what that means. I liked Civil War, so there's got to be some good story. They said if you liked the airport fight scene, then hold on to your pants.
Oh, I did like the airport fight scene.
If you like the airport fight scene, wear your brown pants. Crossed over to Deadpool territory a little bit right there. Yeah, it's pretty insane. So I'm looking forward to it. Can we make some predictions?
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna die?
Okay, so when I was looking at like set photos, like when they put out the photos from like the first movie, like from Infinity War,
Mm-hmm.
and then the still untitled Avengers 4,
Mm-hmm.
which by the way, the Russos have confirmed that Thanos will also be in, so it's really Infinity War 2, they just want to call it that.
Funny thing, yeah, I assumed he was gonna be in it.
In the second movie, or in Avengers 4, Captain America is wearing his like old uniform, like Star Spangled Man with a Plan uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Cap might die in Infinity War, and whatever we see of Chris Evans in part 4
Mm-hmm.
is flashbacks.
So similar to that, I think personally, a lot of people are going to die. Like a lot of characters are going out in this movie. However, because of the Time Stone, which is obvious what that does, and the Soul Stone, which allows you to commune with the dead, I think they're going to kill off more than they plan on bringing back in the second movie. I think they're going to kill a bunch. Let's say 5. It's probably more. It could be more or less than 5. I say they kill 5, bring back 3. So I think the shock value of the deaths is going to be way up, and then some will be brought back.
Well, we know that Bucky is pretty much safe.
Well, yeah. So we know Bucky's safe. We know Black Panther's safe.
Do we know Black Panther's safe?
That movie made so much money. There's no way they're going to kill it. There's no way.
I only say Bucky is safe because he has so much left on his contract.
They're already talking about a second. There's no way they're not going back to Wakanda with Black Panther.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
It made all the monies.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like Shuri is going to be safe.
Yeah.
Because she was like the breakout star of that movie.
I think honestly my number one surprise prediction, and I kind of I'd be disappointed and thrilled at the same time, but I think they kill Hulk. And this is why. One, it would be badass to see Thanos just off Banner or off the Hulk. I think that would be badass. Number 2, they've already said they're never going to make another standalone Hulk movie because of the tie-ins with Universal and how they're sharing him, and he's always going to be in everybody else's movie. So if they got rid of him, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. Plus, so the other thing is, he's he's technically the most powerful superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now.
Who, the Hulk?
Yes, I believe he's considered the most powerful.
Okay.
because he can't really die that we know of. I mean, Bruce says he tried to commit suicide. And he's like,
True.
so I believe he's considered to be the strongest character in the Marvel's cinematic universe. However, with Captain Marvel coming out, she's supposed to be the most powerful being.
I know nothing about Captain Marvel, so
I don't know too much. I know a little bit about the backstory, but she's given her powers from an alien called Marvel. But
okay.
she is like the most powerful being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is why I think she's going to be in the second one, and she's going to be the key to defeating Thanos. But
she is going to be in the second one.
Yeah, I think she
may even show up at the end of the first one.
She could. But I think I think Tony's done. I don't think that's a surprise. They haven't said two words about what he's got left on his contract or what he's in next.
He has nothing left.
I think he's done. I think Robert Downey Jr. is done with it, and I think that's fine. I think I've had enough of him. Not that I'm ready to see him go necessarily, but I've gotten enough. I'm sufficiently happy with his arc and where he's come, and I think to see him, and ultimately within these two movies, to see him and Chris go, I think is a good choice for Marvel to shed those two, to let others take the spotlight, like to let Black Panther step up, to let everybody else kind of share that lead. I also think we could possibly see Don Cheadle's Rhodey go.
Maybe.
Could be.
I mean, I don't consider him to be like. I mean, he's been in all of Tony's movies. He was in Infinity War.
You don't think it would be that big of a?
Not really, because we've already seen some of the stakes with him, breaking his back.
Yeah.
He hasn't had his own movie. He's not a character that we. I mean, yeah, sure, we care about him, but he's not a character we care about like we care about. Like if Bucky were to get killed, people would be upset because we care about Bucky because, there really is no Cap without Bucky.
Yeah.
Like their stories are intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man, he doesn't need Rhodey. He loves Rhodey, but he's not one that we're like super, super connected to, at least in my opinion. I think,
you also have Renner. Like, we still don't know what's going on with Hawkeye.
Jason, those were the words coming out of my mouth before you interrupted me.
We're friends.
We don't know. We know that he's going to have a big part. There is a very specific reason why Hawkeye is not featured in anything.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't even been seen. I don't think he's been seen once.
I know that he shot the movie.
He's in it.
And I know he's in part 4.
I think he's in that the Hulkbuster armor. How awesome would that be?
Ugh.
A lot of people said they thought Hulk was in the Hulkbuster armor, which I think that would be amazing. It'd be insane. I don't know what the reasoning for it would be. He doesn't need it, but it would be insane.
I don't know. I worry about Widow.
Yeah, I'm not worried about her.
Well, she still may get a standalone, so maybe she'll be okay.
Yeah, but if they do a standalone, I bet you it's an origin story.
Maybe.
I think it'll be an origin story just to stick it to Red Sparrow and how much it sucked.
Yeah, but do they use Scarlett Johansson?
Of course.
Because they could very easily use Sebastian Stan. So there's this whole thing, because if you noticed in Civil War, mm-hmm. when he's attacking her, mm-hmm. she makes a comment of, "You could at least recognize me."
Yeah, I don't know. There's more to that than meets the eye.
And there's the whole, because of how old she's supposed to be versus what her birth record is. Yeah. There are theories that he actually was one training in the Red Room, like training the Black Widows.
Could be. That'd be interesting.
So, I don't know. I think all the Guardians will be okay.
I think, yeah, I can't see any of the Guardians going.
And that's how, because Michael Rooker was on set at some point, so maybe that one stone. That's how we get to talk to Yandu again.
I thought, was he on set? I thought he's done. I thought he's not doing anything.
Pretty sure Rooker was on set at least in one of the
It
movies.
would be interesting to see once they get that Soul Stone because the Soul Stone allows you to commune with the dead. They could basically talk to any character that's been dead. That could be pretty crazy.
We don't, and that's the thing. I mean, we haven't met any real stakes yet. Everybody's had, everyone's stayed alive.
The other thing I keep thinking about, it keeps running through my head. I highly doubt it's going to happen. It would be such a highly kept secret. Is if we finally saw Red Skull again, because the big thing about Red Skull was that they didn't know at that juncture, or we didn't know as the audience, that the Tesseract was really like a gateway. It was like a something that allowed people to travel and teleport and gateway across the universe. And at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, he just like disappears. He doesn't get necessarily killed or evaporated. He just up and disappears. And there's always been that, it's always been up in the air that maybe he did like transport halfway across the galaxy and he's been making his way back. That would be pretty epic if he came back and he was all freaking juiced up or something. Like, that'd be pretty
That's,
awesome.
I mean, that's how you get see, and that's why it's so annoying that they didn't do the death of Captain America story
Yeah.
that came out of Infinity War, because
I think they're going to finish off the Civil War storyline in this one.
well, I mean, kind of, but at the same time, um, it's one of those things where if they had kept Red Skull but kept him
Mm-hmm.
hidden,
Yeah.
um, you know, we know that he's got, a thing with Captain America. So the brainwashing of Sharon Carter,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to the killing of Cap would have been really a really interesting arc, which they didn't do.
The other thing I know, like this is kind of outside of Infinity War, but I'm hoping they don't do this afterwards, is I'm hoping they don't do the Skrull invasion as the next big storyline. I was like thinking about that the other day. I don't know how much you know about it.
Mm-mm.
The Skrulls can change their shape to look like anybody. So hypothetically, anybody could technically really be a Skrull and you would never know.
Okay.
And they were talking about maybe going that way down the road. So like you could find out that Hawkeye's always been a Skrull and he wasn't really, stuff like that. And I was like thinking about it. I'm really hoping they don't go that way because it'll literally be Winter Soldier all over again. Oh, Hydra's really, all the Hydra agents are really Shield agents and vice versa. And like it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
Different, but the same. But that's, again, that's down the road. Let's get through Infinity War first. Um, and I can't wait to see the freaking Iron Spider armor. Like I accidentally saw a toy
It's
in
it's all
Target.
CGI.
It's all CGI, and he's got the freaking spider arms that come out of the back of the.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler.
Um, it's he was. I don't know where they were on some panel or something. I haven't really been watching. I've been trying to stay away from everything. Um, and they were. I just read like his whole thing. Like it was a GIF that was being translated, and it was basically saying how he's like everyone's in their cool costumes, and I'm over there with Ruffalo in our pajamas.
Pretty much.
He's like, because the costume can't exist, so everything was on CGI.
Yeah.
Um, speaking of CGI and kind of segueing just for a second, um, did you see the Venom trailer?
Yeah.
And
Meh.
okay,
It looked okay. It looked all right.
I need to stop getting hopes up about DC movies.
It looked okay. I mean, I guess I see they're going for the anti-hero thing, which I get it. He's made that arc before, and it'll probably be entertaining. I don't think it's going to be amazing. No pun intended. I think it'll be all right. Looks okay.
EJ was watching it yesterday morning when it came out, and he's a big, Spider-Man, like he loves Spider-Man. And
me too. That's
and Venom and Carnage. Like he's got all the pops over there, like Venom and Carnage. And I just hear him saying, "Well, they changed the backstory," and I'm like, I know nothing about this character. How about you tell me how they changed it?
Yeah.
Completely ignored me. So I watched it yesterday at school, and I was just like, it looks kind of cool.
I mean, in the backstory involves Spider-Man. I mean, in the backstory, it's part of the Secret Wars. They go fight a war in space, basically, and Peter finds this random black junk that's like, he gets the black costume, and then the costume ends up being a symbiote, and then he gets rid of it, and then Eddie Brock gets it, and that's pretty much the backstory. So I mean, I get it, whatever. It is what it is. So that's why I say meh.
Okay. And then also coming back to Infinity War just for a second. Did you happen to catch, and I meant to send it to you this morning, Chris Evans and his brother on Seth Meyers last night?
I saw that they were on it, but I didn't watch it.
So I watched the clip this morning, and first it was like a 5-minute interview with just Chris and his mustache.
Yeah, the one he's doing because he's doing that Broadway show, Lobby Hero.
Yeah,
he's like a security guard.
He's a cop.
Oh, that's right.
Which I tried to get tickets to when I was down there last weekend.
Ah, gotcha.
But the mustache is utterly ridiculous. And he talked about how it's either, he's like, this mustache could either be for a cop or a porn star. But then him and his brother were on, and Seth was asking them, like, they were playing a game of, like, how well do you know your brother?
Yeah.
And they, like, answered every question correctly, and it was so cute, like, the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that mustache, man.
It's funny.
It's so epically bad.
Yeah.
And then somebody, like, commented on the YouTube, it was like, he looks like a young Tom Selleck.
Nice. Oh, that's funny. Sound-wise, I apologize, people, if this sound is off. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It's like pouring here. So hopefully
I can't hear it.
Okay, hopefully the mic's not being, The other thing I wanted to talk about is, and this is going to be a bit spoilery, sort of. You can't really spoil what you don't understand.
Oh.
Is this
I'm
week?
Like, what are you spoiling and making me mad about?
This week, Westworld came back.
Yes.
And I don't understand what I watched.
Okay, so before I watched it, and I didn't watch it till last night.
Okay.
So I was, like, reading some stuff about it just because I kind of forgot, like, what happened last season a bit.
Yeah, me too. Somewhat.
And they said that by the end of the first episode, we're not going to know what happens when. Like, we don't know what time period.
Right, they're doing that on purpose, right?
Right.
I get it. And it'll all make sense at the end of the season, too. I get that.
But and then that was the thing, because when the episode ended and you saw everything in the water, and then it, like, zoomed in on that face, it took me a good 2 seconds to realize who that dead body was.
I still have no idea.
All right, if you don't want to be spoiled, fast forward 15 seconds. It's Teddy.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because I was staring at the TV and I was like, oh, that's why I didn't know when they were.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, so Bernard is a host.
Yes.
We know that. But he's a host modeled after Arnold?
Yes.
Okay, so Arnold and Bernard look like the same person.
That I don't know.
Don't you see him I think in season 1 you see him in the picture, and that's where Bernard realizes that him and Arnold look like the same thing. So that was another twist, because you don't know which one of those is, well, you know which one is Bernard, but you don't know if the other one is Arnold or if it's, it's interesting. It's going to be a good season. I think it was a really good episode. What's her name freaking went nuts.
Dolores?
Dolores is crazy. She is off the chain.
Oh yeah, Arnold and Bernard are the same actor.
Okay, good.
But I don't think does Bernard know that he's a host?
Yes. Yeah, because think about it. When she was changing, when they were down in
Oh,
that bunker, and he
oh, that's right.
injected
That's right.
himself with like the
That's right.
saline solution or whatever it is. Oh yeah, he knows.
Yes, yes, that's right. That's right.
It was a crazy episode. I don't I don't want to say too much for people who haven't watched it, but just wanted to touch on it real quick.
Yes, no, I was. It was one of those things where I was like, "Oh, it's back," but I'm like, I don't really know how excited I am about it because it's been so long since
Mm-hmm.
the last
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
And then I watched that episode, and I was like, "Oh god damn, that's such a good show."
So good. It's technically it's more popular based on ratings or viewership or whatever. It's more popular than Game of Thrones.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I don't know where I saw that fact, so I can't substantiate it, but maybe it's
Yeah.
true.
And I don't like westerns, and this show, I'm like hooked on it.
It's pretty awesome. All right. So having
Okay.
said all that, take it away.
Take it away. All right. So we just came up with this. Oh, I don't know, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago.
Why do you keep telling them that? Don't tell them.
Because I'm so like unprepared to like talk about Harry Potter.
You are
Even though-
not. Your life has been in preparation to speak on Harry Potter consistently.
No, but at the same time, like I don't know what to talk about. That's what I'm saying. Like because we only decided like a couple hours ago that we were going to talk about Harry Potter. I mean, I could equate Harry Potter to pretty much everything. And it's so funny seeing as though like I was so resistant to reading those books.
Like originally?
Yeah, like I wanted nothing to do with them. And one of my cousins was really into them, and she was like, "You have to read them." She's like, "They're," and she's about 6 years younger than me, so she was probably 13 at the time.
Okay.
Because I read them when I was like 19. I started reading them around 19. And she was like, "You have to read them. They're really good. They're really good." And the Sorcerer's Stone was a bit of a slog for me to get through.
Kept you hooked though.
And then, well, she gave me like the first 4 books.
Oh, gotcha.
And so then I read Chamber of Secrets, and I was like, "Okay, I'm in for this. I'm fully on board." So much so that I have a Harry Potter tattoo. I mean, I'm a fan. But yeah, I'm kind of unprepared. But I was looking up some things, to maybe kind of get the topic conversation going. That we could also, have a back and forth about. So let's start with something easy. Have you been sorted?
Have I been sorted?
Yes.
I probably have. I probably did it on a whim on like a website or something.
So not the like official Pottermore sorting system.
No, I have not been through the official sorting system.
Okay. So then let me ask you this. What house do you think you belong in?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I was hoping you wouldn't because I have no idea. Listen, I like Harry Potter, but I don't know if I like it enough to like sort myself and stuff.
I could tell you what house I think you're in.
All right, go ahead.
But I want to hear what you have to say first.
I don't really know. I mean, just based on the fact that I generally don't like people, I think I'd probably be put in Slytherin. Is that what you think?
No.
Oh.
No, you're a Hufflepuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one of those crappy
Hey,
ones.
there's nothing wrong with Hufflepuff.
They're
incredibly loyal. They're excellent finders.
Finders.
They are. Cedric Diggory was a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, look where that got him. That got him dead.
I wouldn't put you necessarily as a Slytherin because you're not ruthless. Yes, you're a salty bitch, but so am I.
That's true. I'm not ruthless
and I'm
enough
not and I'm not a Slytherin.
I'll only go after something if it's easy because I'm lazy.
Hufflepuff.
Crap.
So, what house do you think I'm in?
I love that I said I didn't care, but I'm still disappointed. You, I see. I don't know enough about them to tell you.
Okay.
I don't know. Gryffindor.
So the first time I sorted, when they first did the sorting system, I was sorted into Ravenclaw,
Okay.
and I was a little bummed about that, but I was okay. Um, and then they're like, "Oh, we really screwed up the sorting system. Here's the new and improved. There's no way you can figure out answers, kind of thing. Like, this is the one." So I resorted, and I'm a Gryffindor, which I don't really know if I necessarily agree with totally, but at the same time, Hermione was a Gryffindor,
Yeah.
so and she was pretty smart.
Do
Actually,
they
the smartest witch of her age. So
do they have the sorting system for the American school now?
they do, and I don't remember what I sorted in with that one.
Yeah. Nobody knows what they are. That's why
Yeah. Um.
they should totally do a series of like Harry Potter movies, but on the American one in the style of like John Hughes movies. The Wizarding World of John Hughes.
That might be fun. Um. Okay. What about this one? Which Deathly Hallow would you choose?
Um, I don't remember all of them.
So you had the invisibility cloak.
Okay.
You had the resurrection stone
Yeah.
and the elder wand.
Um,
Elder wand would make you invincible. Resurrection stone can return a lost loved one, and invisibility cloak, which can protect you from death.
I like
But there are dangers to all of them.
I like the invisibility cloak.
How come?
I could hide like a wuss. I could be like, nuts to this, I'm out of here.
Okay. I would also choose the invisibility cloak. Oh Christ. The squirrel on the roof is going crazy right now, like scratching on the ceiling.
That's okay, I can't really hear it.
I can hear it through like my headphones, which are like supposed to be noise canceling. It's like that loud.
I have a funny Amazon review about that later. Maybe I have a new set for you. Sorry, go ahead.
So I would say the invisibility cloak only because the resurrection stone would be too tempting to bring back somebody that was dead, and they would only be miserable.
Agreed.
I'll come back to that one because that's a good one. Who's more evil, do you think? Dolores Umbridge or Voldemort?
Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, I agree.
I hated her.
Everybody hated her.
I hated her like she was a real person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She's terrible. Jesus Christ. One of these days, a squirrel's gonna come through my fucking ceiling, and like, I'm not gonna be happy. Yeah. So she's the worst. I mean, she was torturing children. At least Voldemort, only tortured adults, and that was to get information. And he killed. I mean, he killed indiscriminately.
Yeah.
She was purely evil. And
yeah.
when she wore the Horcrux, it didn't affect her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
All right. Whose death do you think was the saddest?
It's like open-ended?
Open-ended. Whose death affected you the most? Either in the books or the movies?
I don't really know. I guess Sirius Black. That was kind of a bummer.
Okay.
Because that was like his only family member left. And his aunt and uncle were douchebags.
Okay. This is a hard one for me. Because I remember when I read Sirius's death, I was spoiled about Sirius's death, I think. Um so I don't think that one really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbledore's really, really upset me.
Mm-hmm.
When I first read it, but I never and I didn't believe Snape was I believed that it was a plan from the get go. I
Yeah.
was still upset, but I believed it was a plan.
No, yeah, me too.
Um but I think um I think Fred. I think Fred was the one that really
Yeah, it was a
really
bummer
upset
too.
me.
Like I said, for me, it was serious because that, like I said, that was his last family member, and his uncle was a douchebag. Speaking of,
Um
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh go ahead, good.
Want to hear? Would you like to hear? What was his name? Vernon.
Yes.
Vernon Dursley.
Yes.
Would you like to hear a Vernon Dursley joke?
Sure.
Harry Potter walks into a bar because I put them on his bedroom windows.
Mm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I actually saw them together on Broadway in Equus.
Who, the guy that plays Vernon and
Yeah,
Daniel
before he
Radcliffe?
died. Yeah, before he died.
Oh,
He played his psychiatrist. He was phenomenal.
the Naked Horse play.
The Naked Horse play. I saw the Naked Horse play twice.
Sweet. I guess if you like Naked Horses.
I enjoyed Naked Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
Um, let's see. Which book in the series is your favorite?
I don't really know. I don't know if I could pinpoint it. Like, I enjoyed them, but I don't know that I like. I've never reread them or anything.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Order of the Phoenix, maybe?
Okay.
That one was pretty good.
Okay. It's a tie for me, I think. Um, although maybe, I mean, every time I read them, it's like, oh, this is the best one, this is the best one. Like, and I'll go all the way through to book 7.
Mm-hmm.
With, this is my favorite. Book 7, I think was excellent, but I think it was a little bit rushed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Half-Blood Prince is probably my favorite. Purely for the fact that we don't know about Dumbledore at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he dies, he dies as somebody we can look up to.
Mm-hmm. No, I gotcha.
And speaking of Dumbledore, let's talk about Albus Dumbledore.
All right.
Do you think he's a hero or a villain?
Is there a school of thought that he's a villain?
Yes. He absolutely is a villain.
You are of that mindset?
I am of that mindset.
Why do you say that?
Okay, so let's start at the fact that when Lily and James died, he set Harry off to live with the Dursleys, who he knew were absolutely horrible people.
Okay.
He had the neighbor, and I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on her name. The Squib. Keep an eye on him throughout the years.
Yep.
So it's not like he didn't know that Harry was being abused by the Dursleys. Because let's face it,
Yep.
he was being abused.
Yeah.
He was malnourished. He was kept under the stairs.
Yep.
He was treated horribly, by his only living relatives.
You mean kept healthy, had a cool fort he lived in, I don't. I'm kidding.
No, no.
Lived in a
He
cool
was
fort.
he was abused. Okay, so
Just abused.
and part of the reason why, and I understand why he did that, part of the reason why he kept Harry there is because the protection that Lily, placed over him by sacrificing herself extended to him living with the Dursleys.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. However, at the same time, we also know, and Dumbledore pretty much knew from the jump, that Harry was a Horcrux.
Okay.
So it's not like Voldemort really could have done anything while he had been gone. There was, 14 years of no Voldemort. But all this time, Harry's living in this hell.
You think they could have done something before all of this nonsense happened?
Who?
Or anybody?
I'm saying that Dumbledore knew the terrible conditions that in real life Child Protective Services would have been involved.
Yeah. No, that's right. You're true. That's
And
true.
as a professor, as an educator in a K through or in a a high school, he's a mandatory reporter. So
The Wizarding World does not have mandatory reporters.
okay, but anyway, so let's start there. So he knows that he's in this horrible situation, does nothing to help him. He also knows that Vernon Dursley is terrified of magic. So he could have easily had gone to the Dursleys and said, knock this shit off. I will use magic on you if you don't start treating this kid better. He never does that. He stays completely out of everything. Right? So then...
It's called making the story interesting.
And I'm just saying, this is why he's a villain. So then... And this isn't even going back to his whole story even before then with Grindelwald and all of that crazy nonsense. I'm just going to go with the Harry Potter arc because Dumbledore has his own arc where, he basically incited, World War II from the beginning in the Wizarding World's eyes with Grindelwald and killing all of the, and wanting to get rid of the Half-Bloods and the Muggle-borns, which Voldemort ran with. But anyways, so now we've got Harry Potter, who's of age, and gets to Hogwarts. And, Dumbledore also says the reason that he was with the Dursleys is he wanted him raised with, outside the Wizarding World so that he wasn't, a spoiled little brat and famous and all that. Whatever. So you get Harry into Hogwarts. Everybody knows who he is. He has no idea what's going on. Thankfully, he ends up with Ron as, the first person he meets.
Mm-hmm.
And since Ron is so grounded and, comes from poverty, but is from a family that's very well loved, it's at least now Harry has somebody. Mm-hmm. And Dumbledore at any point in time could have said, I know this is a lot for you to understand, but this is the kind of stuff you need to know. He never explains anything. He keeps things very vague throughout the entire series. Sends Harry back to the Dursleys at the end of the school year, even though the Weasleys would have gladly taken him. In order for the magic to have worked, he just had to be able to call the Dursleys' house home. So he could have gone home for a couple of days and then gone and spent the rest of the summer with the Weasleys.
Yeah.
Or with the Grangers. Or with any number of wizarding families that he's friends with that he would have taken him in.
I mean, I get it. I don't think it makes him a villain. I think it just makes him a douche canoe.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
So, he raises this kid like a lamb to slaughter. Keeps everything from him. All the way up to the moment of Harry's sacrifice, where Harry finally understands what Dumbledore has known for 17 years, which is that he's a Horcrux and that he has to let Voldemort kill him. So he let this kid live his life and sacrifice himself, and didn't give him a lot to go on with a lot of things, like with the whole Horcrux hunt. Like, he didn't give him much to go on. He didn't give him much guidance. He kept things from him at every turn. Order of the Phoenix, there was so much secrecy. If Harry had known some of the things that he needed to know, he maybe would have not let Voldemort into his mind. And then there's that. I mean, but he had too many secrets, not to mention the fact that he got his little sister killed.
Yeah.
He's not a hero. That is, his story is not one of a hero. Dumbledore is more of a villain, or at least an anti-hero than a hero.
Yeah. All right. Sold.
All right.
I just realized Harry Potter is basically Jesus.
Yes, he is a Christ figure.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Neville Longbottom.
Where's this going?
Who's the real hero of the story, Harry or Neville?
Oh, that's where you're going with it.
Oh, you think I was going with it? Hottest member of Hogwarts.
I guess, yeah, everybody says it's Neville. I get it.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know, because everybody says it.
Okay.
Because he's the one that kills the what's that thing?
The basilisk?
Yes.
Not the basilisk. He kills Nagini.
The snake.
Yes, Nagini.
Saves the day.
He does.
At every turn.
If you look at the Harry Potter, like the group of friends, compared to the Marauders, Neville is often compared to Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah. Except better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you figure Hermione kind of fits the Lupin role.
Yeah.
Harry fits the James role, obviously. Ron fits the Sirius role. Lupin fits, or not Lupin. Neville fits the Peters role.
Yeah.
And then you could say
that.
Ginny is Lily.
Yeah.
But of that friendship, he's compared to Peter because he's kind of the last. He's the last one picked for everything.
Yeah.
But he doesn't worship the ground Harry walks on. He tells Harry what it is in the very first book when they sneak out and they stupefy Neville. It's because he's standing up to them and saying, "No, guys, like, knock it off."
Yeah.
And then he led the rebellion at Hogwarts in year 7.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, he's just as much of a hero.
Not to mention the fact that it could very well have been him. The prophecy was either about Harry or Neville. Snape just understood it to be Harry, and that's why Voldemort went after the Potters instead of the Longbottoms.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which leads me to Severus Snape. What are your thoughts about Snape?
Kind of a douchebag.
Okay, why?
I don't know. He didn't need to be a jerk. But I get why he was a jerk. But he really, I get it. He was kind of a hero. Because he basically protected Harry all the time, even though he was a douche about it. Because he liked his mom and sucked to be him. And yeah, I don't know. That's not.
I mean, Snape is the ultimate example of, and I hate this term, but friend-zoned.
He got friend-zoned hard.
So, Snape, what bothers me about the Snape story is that they made the fact that Harry named his youngest after both Dumbledore and Snape. Um, when Snape died a hero's death. And Harry got to understand Snape's motivations when Snape died.
Mm-hmm.
But he was awful to Harry. He was awful to everybody. Like, he was just a miserable son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to poor Neville. Like, that kid really, he had a lot to live up to with his father being an Auror and, going loony after being tortured.
Mm-hmm.
And his grandmother, really put a lot on his shoulders. But, Snape he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible to all the kids, especially Harry, because Harry looked just like his dad.
Yeah.
And it's Snape's fault that Lily and James died.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he did all he could to protect Harry so that, he could make up for, at least atone for his sins.
Yeah.
I think he is the most complex character.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of my favorite characters in the series. But he's not a good guy.
Yeah. No, he's douchey.
He was a talented spy. I mean, the fact that he could hide his thoughts from Voldemort, and Voldemort never knew until the very end. Actually, even then, Voldemort didn't know at the end. Voldemort thought he was loyal to the minute he killed him. The only reason he killed him was because he thought Snape was the real owner of the Elder Wand.
It's true.
You're damn right it's true.
Damn.
You're talking to the expert here, remember?
So like I said earlier, the reason we wanted to talk about this was because the new mobile game, Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, came out. And I was playing it a little bit today. It's interesting. It's you got to like learn charms and things, and I haven't played too much of it, but you make friendships. And I was like going through looking at the people that you're going to meet during the game. Let's say during year 1, you make 3 friends. During year 2, you meet Bill Weasley.
Ooh, Bill Weasley.
In year 3, you can be friends with Tonks. In year 3, you can be friends with Tulip Karasu. Maybe that's made up. And there's another person, Barnaby Lee. I don't know if that's a person, if that's a thing. But it's interesting. It takes place before Harry Potter, because there's like a thing in the beginning where Dumbledore's welcoming everybody to the school year, and they're like, "Hey, it's really weird." He's like, "Just so you know, we saved Harry Potter, so he'll be fine now. So let's have a good school year." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, it's like really weird.
He's real.
What?
Oh wait, no, he's not. I'm just looking at the wiki.
So it's an interesting little game. You should try it.
It's so funny because right when we started recording, my buddy Rob sent me a link to the App Store game.
That's funny.
So I did want to end on like something else that might be interesting with regards to this. I have another question.
Okay.
Were the Dursleys so terrible because they were under the effects of a Horcrux? Because Harry was a Horcrux.
That's true. They could have been, huh? Yeah. I mean, they could have been. I don't think we'll ever know, but yeah, it's a distinct possibility. Because I feel like his aunt was fighting it the whole time. She felt a bit conflicted. A bit.
Yeah. But I mean, living with that, I mean, they lived with a Horcrux for...
Oh, yeah, 17 years.
On and off.
Yeah.
But for
Could
the
be.
first 11, I mean, or 10, because Henry was like 1 when his parents died. Um, but what's really interesting is the evolution of Dudley.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, Vernon and Petunia were pretty awful throughout the whole thing. Um, after after book 5, Dudley started getting a little bit better. And at book 7, he like shook Harry's hand and was like, "Why isn't he coming with us?" So I think that there was definitely like a sibling rivalry between the two of them. With Dudley obviously being the awful sibling. Um, but I think once they were adults with their own families, I like to think that they stayed in touch.
Yeah, maybe.
So, all right.
Well made point.
Thanks. All right. So, moving on. We had a request. Actually, there were a couple of requests today. Apparently you guys really like our Amazon reviews.
I got tons more.
And one of my cousin Bree said that we should start doing like weird Craigslist ads.
All right. So you want to go back and forth?
Sure.
All right.
So why don't you go first?
Okay. So this review is entitled I Didn't Hear a Thing. The product reviewed was the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset. And the review goes as follows by somebody named Adam. So, not so funny story. Someone in the apartment unit above us got stabbed. According to the cop who interviewed us, the attacker rang the upstairs doorbell, and when the guy answered, the attacker forced his way in and stabbed the guy. You want to know what the scary part is? I didn't hear a thing, thanks to my amazing HyperX Cloud 2 headphones. I got them on Amazon for $99.99, free shipping. These things work as advertised. Probably the best noise-canceling headphones I've ever owned. 10 out of 10 would buy again.
That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a free sailboat.
Oh, sweet.
It's a free 18-foot sailboat. Grandpa was a sailor, missed the open water, so he hired a crane to drop a sailboat in a swimming pool. Time to get the boat out. Free to anyone who could remove the boat without damaging the block wall or landscaping. Serious inquiries only. No trailer, no boom, no sails or rigging. Rudder? Yes. Still free. Thank you.
Free boat's a free boat.
It's a big boat in this guy's in-ground pool.
That's ridiculous. So the next product is called the Guardian Angel, and it's basically it's like an acupuncture thing for your hand. It stimulates 344 pressure points in the hand. Like you kind of squeeze it. It's like this little egg-looking thing, and it's got spikes coming out of it. So the review is as follows. It's in here somewhere with me. Woke up this morning to find that my guardian angel had shattered. The inside was slimy and green. Moments later, heard a skittering sound behind some furniture. Found that during the night, phone lines had been cut and all the doors and windows are shut with some sort of super glue-like substance. My cell phone has been smashed. I can't get out. It didn't cut the cable internet, so I've got online to warn you. Don't buy the Guardian... period. Feeling better now. Everything is fine. I will be sending a guardian angel to all of its friends, families, neighbors, and associates. All humans must get one. 5 stars. The most relaxing experience ever. I will never have another worry ever again after buying this product, and you will feel total fulfillment in service of a force infinitely greater than yourself. Buy it. You will never know pain after you feel the slight pinching at the back of your skull.
Oh, dear God.
Somebody's got too much time on their hands.
Clearly.
I assume that was supposed to be an alien hatched from it and took over his body snatcher kind of thing. Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
So, I have an overly aggressive couch / futon.
Okay.
Pardon my language for this one. Get this satanic fucking couch out of my home. It's free and has made multiple sexual advances on me at times. There is a spring poking out the end through the fabric, and it will give you dirty looks when you're alone with it. Dry clean only. Housebroken. Email for mission briefing.
Nice. I will apologize for this next one. I'm deciding if I really want to read it because it's all right. So it's a really long review, no pun intended.
I've got a pretty long one at the end too, but solo cups.
And I apologize. This is going to be a little not safe for work. So this is product reviewed. Passion Lubes natural water-based lubricant. 55-gallon drum.
Nice. You sound really uncomfortable.
It's just, I skimmed, so I don't know how this is going to go. I knew getting back in the dating game would be a challenge after being out of it for over 5 years. When I was released from Jolette, I had to learn all the new things the dating crowd was trying.
Hold on a second. So Joliet is a prison.
Okay.
Go on.
I knew about scented candles and Luther Vandross CDs and sure was glad to hear people still use them. But I had no idea that lube was so popular with the romantics out there. All it took was one stroll through the Walgreens personal hygiene aisle to prove I had I had to learn a new thing. Where to start, I wondered. I wanted something simple, however, all I saw in the stores were lubricants that were flavored with cinnamon and paprika or designed to somehow heat your private parts. No way, Jose. I experienced the heat thing personally once after an adventurous incident with a toaster. I'll stick with room temperature from now on. Thank you very much. Luckily, I found a plain old-fashioned lubricant that would not make me smell like a dessert topping, and it came in this huge tub. No more awkward late-night Walgreens runs for me. Once I could get my hands on this lubricant bin, now I admit the price tag was kind of hefty, but after selling the old Pontiac Sunfire and borrowing some cash from Aunt Gladys, I was ready to place my order. The product only took a week to arrive and got to my apartment just in time for my first real date since the gas station incident. You can bet I was nervous for this one. When I got off the bus to meet Carla in front of the Chili's, I just about had a heart attack. The only thing keeping me calm was knowing that I could not possibly run out of lube that night. I gave Carla a reassuring nod and smile as if to say, "Don't worry, Carla, I have plenty of lubricant for later." Still going. The dinner was great, and after knocking back a couple mojo mango margaritas, we were ready to head back to my apartment. I winked and told Carla, "Let's slip on out of here," to see if she understood the lubricant lingo. Oh my God. I think she did. Throughout the bus ride back, I grinned and hummed Luther Vandross tunes to set the mood. When we got back to my place, I already had a candle burning. It was by Glade, which I think you pronounce like the singer Sade.
Glade?
Because it is an exotic candle that smells like real pine. After we got comfortable, I asked Carla if she could help me with the lube. She looked at me weird, and I couldn't tell if it was because she thought it was too soon or because I was pushing a mechanical lift to get the drum barrel out of the storage closet. We're not even close to done. So I took the initiative, as women like men to do, and rolled the barrel out into the living room. Ready to tap the keg, I joked, and by keg I meant 55-gallon barrel of personal lubricant. She looked at me all shocked and said, "That's it, I'm out of here." I asked why, since she didn't need to run to Walgreens for more lubricant. There was plenty right here. But she didn't answer and got up to leave anyway. Then, as Carla was about to pass me in the barrel, she tripped on my dog Poochie and fell right into the lube barrel. The force of the impact downed the barrel and knocked its lid off, sending 55 gallons of water-based lubricant across my faux hardwood floors. Carla was completely drenched, and her momentum slid her to the front door, which she somehow managed to pry open with a pair of oven mitts. The last thing I knew, no fun Carla was screaming profanities and sliding down 3 flights of steps. I didn't pay too much attention because I was too busy trying to salvage the lube. I managed to get about half of it back in the barrel. The other half probably seeped into Mrs. Pulaski's unit below me. I never bothered to ask if she appreciated the free gift of lubricant. Anyway, despite my user error, I was quite pleased with the product. These days, it's hard to find 55 gallons of scent-free water-based lubricant, and you can find it right here at a discount rate. I had to give it only 4 stars because it didn't come with a lifting apparatus. I had to buy my own mechanical lift separately to haul the bin to my future dates. So if you're ready for fun, slide down to a high-quality product at a bargain price.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That was fantastic.
That's the best thing ever. I just picture somebody like getting into the barrel of lube.
I don't know who this guy is. I assume this didn't really happen to him, that he's just a creative writer, but I wish I could get him to go in on a fictional podcast with me.
All right, my next one is a glorious starter potato.
Okay.
In spring cleaning, I was cleaning out a back cabinet and found a glorious starter potato. I feel sad just chucking him since he has made such an impression in attempt at life and propagation. If you have a yard or garden and be willing to take this glorious plant from my hands, I'd be happy, knowing he's able to live his dreams. I've included photos to show his gnarly awesomeness, and I hope you can help him provide a great loving home, aka fertile soil to grow. It's literally a shriveled potato with, like, the eyes have obviously, like, sprouted off to start growing again.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a potato with tons of green antlers.
Amazing. So our next Amazon review is called Where is the Baby's Belly Button? A Lift the Flap Book. The title of the review, by the way, it has 1 star.
Okay.
Says, do not buy this book. You can see the ending right on the cover. This book is completely misleading. The entire plot revolves around finding the baby's belly button. The title makes this much clear from the beginning. However, there is no mystery. There is no twist. Baby's belly button is right where it's supposed to be, on baby's stomach. Right where it clearly shows you it is on the cover of the book. Not the best writer either. This plot is a complete mess as a result of its reliance on the mystery of where the belly button is. Everything falls apart the second you realize that the belly button was in plain sight all along. There is no conflict, there is no character development, and there is scarcely any plot. Whoever wrote this book must have a serious error in judgment, because you would have to be an infant to not immediately understand where baby's belly button is. This is one of the worst pieces of literature I have ever read.
Jesus. It's a baby's book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is entitled 99 Empty Bottles of Beer. I've been collecting 99 unique bottles of beer over the last few years, but I've finally hit my goal and I'm now ready to pass them along, be it recycling or to a good home. Bottles are boxed and ready to go when you are. Some possible uses. If you homebrew and want to bottle your beer, the vast majority are pry-off caps, so easy enough to rebottle. If you're planning a trip to Michigan and want to get an astounding rate of return of $9.90 on your empty beer bottle recycling investment, as a bonus, I'll throw an extra beer bottle that I'll shotgun right in front of you so you can make it an even $10. Makes for great ammunition for bar fights. I can confirm that these bottles break just as easily as normal bottles, so are great for stabbing or head smashing. No, please don't actually do this.
Very nice. I'd like to preface this next review by asking you if you are aware of the phenomena in gaming that is microtransactions.
Okay.
I'm asking, do you know what microtransactions are?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Microtransactions are basically when a game company provides you a game, but then offers you extra content for real world money.
Okay, yeah.
Where you can basically pay to win, things like that.
In-game purchases.
Yes. There are certain companies who are very well known for this. This review is for Star Wars Battlefront Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 4. Congratulations, EA, you earned 1 star, is the title. And the rest of it is, congratulations, EA, you earned 1 star. Additional stars can be purchased for $5.49 each. That's it. It's the whole thing. But that was very good.
My next one is a hoverboard cart.
Okay.
I need you to see this picture. I'll have to send you the link to this thing.
Okay, yes, please.
So this is a one-of-a-kind, awesome, quote-unquote, scooter cart. Is sure to be an attention grabber. Made from an old grocery cart frame, a 2-wheeled self-balancing board, and some ingenuity, LOL. Use it to cruise your favorite fishing hole or campsite without the hassle of having to lug everything yourself, making trip after trip. Sold as is. Details. Sturdy metal frame, 2 rear hard rubber wheels, 2 midsection caster wheels, electric hoverboard with charger, ice chest, removable cockpit chair, bench seat, fishing rod holders, fish scale, stringer, and battery-powered lights. So,
it's essentially a boat?
No, it's a shopping cart. It looks like a Target shopping cart or like a grocery store shopping cart.
Yep.
That they've taken everything but the handle part,
yes.
the frame.
Yep.
They've taken the cart part off though, so it's just like the red crisscross bottom.
Yep.
Which it looks like they've put a lawn chair on it.
Yep, gotcha.
With an ice chest.
Gotcha.
And one of those like the hoverboard
that
all the kids at the end.
Okay.
Like I said, I will
yeah, send me the picture.
Yeah, I will just send you the link to this later.
Okay. This is my last one. And it is for a you know those animal masks that go over your head, the rubber masks?
Yes.
Okay. This is an overhead rubber penguin mask. Happy Feet animal fancy dress. This review was by Sir Chubbs. I wear this mask to sing lullabies to my children. They are terrified of the mask. Whenever they protest about their bedtime or ask for too many sweets, I whip on the mask, and they soon know who is the king penguin. Yeah, so there's that.
Okay, so there's 2 more, and they're both a little bit long. So this first one is called Funky Lawn Sex. Just kidding, it's a yard sale. Spring in Georgia. The weather is infuriating, unpredictable. Ants are preparing their assault on our kitchen, and pollen has us by the nads. So we're having a yard sale. Or really, Mom is having a yard sale, and I get to write the Craigslist ad. They used to let me make signs, too, but I kept zoning out and writing yard sard by accident and wasting all their poster board. Seriously, fam. Mom has an entire storage building primarily allocated just for all the crap she doesn't need but refuses to get rid of if she thinks she can get a quarter for it, and that crap has your name on it. Just think. Our stuff. It could be your stuff. And it's good stuff. It's great stuff. It's stuff that you need. Here's what you need to know. So, date this Saturday, location, and they didn't put the address. Time 8 to 3. How will the weather be? Amazeballs. Is there plenty of parking? Yes.
Balls.
Sure. Can we can we drive on the grass? Yes. Are you nice? Usually. Do you like dinosaurs? Yes. I love it. It gets better. Do you have any Loretta Lynn albums? Unlikely. Are there dog turds in the yard? There shouldn't be, but if there are, blame the neighbors. Are your kids going to be sneaking back inside all their stuff you're trying to sell? Probably come early. What we got? Goodies, loot, swag, prizes. Fabulous, fabulous treasures. Hold on. Not done yet. Really, though. I've only seen most of her crap in neon sticker-covered mountains, see attached photos, and I'm still not done tagging all of my stuff that's been piled in my office forever, because I just spent the last 3 hours jumping on a trampoline and arguing on the internet and bailing out my son in Minecraft. Mom was supposed to send a list but forgot, so based on 30 years of yard sale experience, you can expect awesome stuff like stuff, bigger stuff, kid stuff, baby stuff, things.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Hold on. Pieces of things. She's all about the 10-cent box. Doodads.
Doodads.
Kitchen stuff. Ugly stuff. Toys of varying quality, some even with batteries. At least one weed eater, chainsaw, or similar yard appliance. A basket of partially used soap and hygiene products, probably some with glitter. Breakable things and fancy things.
Fancy things. You had me at fancy things.
And then, oh my god. And then finally, Polar Cup collection. I have 1,060, close estimate, of 42 to 44 ounce Polar Pop cups that I have saved. They are at my office, and now my boss has decided I need to get rid of them. I don't need that kind of negativity, but he really is a cool boss, so I will accommodate. I don't know if someone has a use for them. I mean, we made a cool archway that contains 100 cups to achieve, so with 1,060 you can make 10 of them for a typical interior door. These are all clean. I would get my daily soda, and once done, I would fill the cup with ice water to drink for the rest of the day. The following day, I would get a new soda, and the old cup would be stacked in the office. This collection did come in handy for the incidental cup that would get a hole in it. I always had a backup cup. This has been in the office for 2+ years. Believe it or not, I had more cups, but a year ago we had a weird smell in the office. Later found out our wiring was smoldering, but at the time my cups were getting the blame. I threw out about 500 of them. But when the smell didn't go away and we saw smoke, we knew there was a different issue. Again, these cups are all clean, and I knew in my heart the smell wasn't coming from them. Some of the cups have things written on them. I would use them sometimes as a reminder for myself to do things. I would lose Post-it notes, and I always have a Polar Pop cup with me. It was a perfect to write my daily reminders on the side. There may be an incidental cup from another soda stop. I believe there are a few Express Mart cups and a Sonic cup, but other than that, Polar Pop rules. Come get ASAP. I hate to throw them all away.
Not as good as the yard sale,
No,
but still pretty good.
That yard sale should have been the last one.
Oh my god. Anyway, well, do you have a fanfic pick this week?
I do. I just want to send you this before I forget. Okay. So in honor of Infinity Week, I am recommending a Marvel-based fic. It is a Bucky Barnes Darcy Lewis. And secondary pairing of Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff.
Didn't you do this one already?
I did not.
Oh, similar.
I did a Steve Darcy Bucky one. That was like a poly
That's
thing.
right. Yes.
This is different. And this one is called Road Trip of Champions. And it's a lot of fun. And it's 13 works. And apparently the author is not done in this world yet, so she might write more. She writes a whole lot of stuff, and it's by Lieutenant. So Leftennant.
Nice. Check it out. Check it out.
That should be like a soundbite how we like end our show.
I will have to get a Steve Brule soundbite. Check it out. And Reading Rainbow. Steve Brule and then Reading Rainbow. Oh boy. Anyway, well, I suppose I'll do a little bit of cleanup here. As always, you can find us on Twitter, ANJ Have No Ideas. Facebook, April and J Have No Ideas. iTunes, we are on Stitcher now. I apologize. Google Play. We are actually on iHeartRadio as well. You can find our podcast on iHeartRadio, not live or anything. That'd be cool, but you can find it on iHeartRadio or wherever you find your podcasts. Pocket Casts is the one I use. SoundCloud, I'm working out what's going on with SoundCloud. I think they want me to pay them more money, and I don't really want to pay them. So, and of course, randomchatter.com. We're part of the Random Chatter Network. And our website, aprilandj.libsyn.com.
Not that there's anything on there.
Not that there's anything on there except episodes. We are running the contest for a few more days. Thank you to the new review we got. I forgot to tell you, we got a new review from, and just going to look it up real quick because I wrote it down and then I misplaced a piece of paper. Thank you to, I apologize if I say this wrong, and Alonzo, who basically told us he was a Random Chatter listener and he was feeling a little sketchy about our podcast, but now he loves it and he can't wait for each coming episode. So that is amazing. And we are now a 5-star rated podcast.
Yay!
The other thing I was going to say is, and I apologize, if you gave us a rating and not a review, just send us a quick message so you could be entered into the contest. You didn't necessarily have to give us both, but if you gave us some stars within the month of April, just shoot us an email or a message or tweet at us and just let us know, hey, I gave you some stars, and you'll be entered. So right now we have 2 people, but I know there was some other people that gave us some stars. And like I said, you'll be entered to win Lego Brickhead's Kylo Ren figure that I will ship out at the end of the month. We will probably next episode will our next episode be in May, technically? Yeah.
Yes.
So
because guess what?
It's going to be May.
Oh my God. By the way, that video you sent me of your son singing that made my day.
He wouldn't stop. So I think we'll maybe draw the name during the next podcast episode. So
yeah. So get your reviews in, and if you rated us, let us know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. So signing off.
Then on that note, I've been April.
And I've been Jay.
And that was an idea that I didn't know would go the way that it did, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, went pretty well. Went pretty well. Happy Infinity War.
Happy Infinity Week,
people.
Stop trying to get the last word, Jason.